Hello, everyone. Today is August 14th, 2026, and I think it's been more than a week since I posted my latest video, which was blocked by TikTok because it contained some criticism against politically correct stuff, so-called woke, WOKA, and they never give you a reasonable explanation for their behavior. I'm a scientist by training. We have academic freedom of speech, which is protected by European Union. I would argue that TikTok are not allowed to censor me in Europe from a legal point of view. Let that sink in. Academic freedom of speech is above all, but there are limitations, of course. And as we know, in recent days, this scandal at Cambridge showed up, where a person had been appointed a professorship based on unbelievable story. Actually, that story in isolation is not interesting, I have to say, because in such a huge community, things must go wrong from time to time. What is important is that it's not the first time, because soon after, my own alma mater, Lund University in the south of Sweden, where I defended my dissertation, was basically caught in a similar thing. And those two cases are not isolated cases. So we had the University of Helsingfors a couple of years ago, and before that Karolinska Institute, and it goes on and on and on and on. So paying attention to each and every case doesn't mean much from a political point of view, because what people must learn is to look for patterns. So being appointed a professor is not a guarantee for having all the right answers. So remember, professor, like doctor, means teacher. Now you're assigned to provide service to the students within your field. And there are so many fields in the academy. You have everything from natural science, like biology, chemistry, physics, geology, chronostratigraphy. Did I say geology? For example, and in the social science, you have psychology, my own topic, economics, business administration, also my topic. And then you have the humanism, which is like history, for example, language, literature, and stuff like that. So a professor in chemistry has a different expertise compared to a professor in history. So there's a huge variation, but the key point is that in each and every case, these people should be appointed according to the rules and regulations within the academy. Method is important. You should be able to understand and teach method. You should also have a conceptual understanding. What happened in these many cases, where Cambridge is the latest of many, is just that, someone let this person slip through the system and nobody understands why. So Richard Dawkins, the very famous zoologist, I think he is, but they talk about him as an evolutionary biologist. He had read the thesis, and he said he was very harsh in his criticism, but my interpretation is that the thesis was not ready. Okay. The proofreading was not finished, language was not fixed, and stuff like that. So I don't want to dismiss this guy, but instead of letting him work with his thesis, they for some reason open all the doors for him, and he became a professor. Very sad, because it devalues everything within the academy, and also the trust that the public have for the work we do. Yeah, so I had to take like a break in producing videos, but also I put a lot of effort into comment on this supposed heat wave, which people talk about, and wildfires, and the claim that they are causally linked. And of course, what can you say if it's really hot and it starts burning in the ground? You may think that these two things are related in a causal way, and in some cases they are. But also, what showed up in media was that many of the cases was arson. I hope I pronounced that correct. That someone has actually, a human had set fire to a forest, and when it was dry, the fire spread very easily. So there you have the human factor. Someone who wants to show the causal relation, but acting in a very unethical way. What I wrote was that the reason people fall victim of heat is not because it's 30 degrees outside. It's because they overhydrate, drink too much water, and because they eat too little salt. And now you think, wait a minute, isn't salt dangerous? Should we drink a lot of water in preparation? Yeah, I was told that when I grew up. I also told that egg yolk contained cholesterol, that saturated fat was dangerous, and that Pluto was a planet. So in 2006, two great things happened. Pluto was no longer a planet, but I don't know, they had another definition, because they had discovered the Kuiper belt. And the diet heart hypothesis was rejected. In fact, we need saturated fat for the brain to work, and we need cholesterol to interact with the sun to produce vitamin D. And salt, this can be hard to believe. You need it for heart health. I mean, it's like the world is upside down. I happen to have access to this information, to the experts and the papers and everything. So, but don't trust me. Don't take my word for it. Go out there, use the internet, explore, use this large language model, and make inquiries into this topic to draw your own conclusion. If you want me to enlighten you, I'm a research psychologist by training. I don't have any research money, so I offer my expertise to the public. I can come to your place if you gather like 50 people, and we can go through all this. Okay. Have a nice day, and see you next time.